So what's going on? Legion Order here playing more RuneScape Dragonwilds. Welcome to our daily gaming XP grind, episode 139. So I want to do a couple things in this video. We are going to be getting more blurite ore, which is something we discussed a little bit in the last episode. It's not super important, but we do want to have access to have a lot of bars to make more blurite bolts. I believe that this is going to be important because I've talked about this a little bit before. Basically, this is going to be something that's the point between whatever's next and then what is here now. So you're going to want to have blurite bars because I imagine that it might be a little bit difficult. I'm not 100% sure, but I would imagine that obviously the new creatures are going to be a little bit difficult. And so, yes, there's going to be better things to get, right? But immediately, I don't think we're going to be able to get to those things without a little bit of a struggle. So you're going to want to have stuff that you can sort of kill them with that's going to do enough damage, right? So Blurite actually is the most powerful right now, and that's why we're trying to stock up on it a little bit. And being that there's only one actual location to get it, I think it's going to be really important to stock up on it. So that's what we're trying to do. Oh, that was terrible. I had a feeling. But I thought, you know what? Maybe I can make it. Maybe I can. And I didn't. So there we are. Okay. So something different that I want to do actually right now that I don't normally do is I want to go in here and try to fight these guys. Not because I really need anything except maybe vault shards. I think those are going to be really important as well because they're going to keep doing vaults. Now, they could change the kind of shards that you're getting actually to go with the gear that you're going to be making. They might not just stick with the same. I'm not 100% sure how they're actually going to do that. So we'll have to wait and see. But, you know, having extra, it's not going to be the end of the world. But I mean, hopefully they do change it actually, though. It would make a lot more sense because you're going to be changing gear, but not changing the requirements or sort of the setup resources that you need. It wouldn't really make a lot of sense. But these guys give a lot of XP, the Acorns, the Archons. So I guess we'll just stand here and block and fight this guy. I think we're going to be relatively safe. Except that right there. That does a little bit of damage for sure. And then I didn't block because I couldn't see on the screen. So we actually might die, which I really don't want to die. But we'll see what happens. There we go. So mission accomplished. And now we can go grab the chest. We can grab the core if we want. Which I'm not all that... Oh, that could have killed me. I'm not all that concerned about the core itself. Let's see if there's any new blueprints we can get. There's quite a bit inside that chest. Nothing crazy. We've got a little bit of dwellberries right here. Let's go ahead and grab this, which is going to be, I guess, important because we're going to be doing a lot of repurposing as well as adding a lot of lodestones so we can actually collect dwellberries a lot faster. So not super crazy, anything like wild or nothing like that. But for me, it's important because we've got to stick to it. We've got to be efficient. It's got to make sense. I mean, I've got all these different lodestones all over the place, and a lot of them I don't really use anymore like I was. So I can actually start pulling these up unless they make sense. And this one, it just does not make sense. There's one dwellberry here. We can check this chest since we haven't been over here in quite some time. Let's see what we got. 13 of that. Oh, we got this potted dwellberry. Now, I don't know if those are for farming or if it's just more sort of a cosmetic look. I haven't really spent too much time looking into that. So let's pull this up. That actually might be too much. No, we're okay. I thought it might be too much weight because we've already got 2 other cores. Now that's really weird for there to be that bird there. I think we're gonna... I don't think we can pull up this one just quite yet. I think that might be too much weight. So we're actually just going to teleport away and try to see if we can find another area where it might be suitable to put another lodestone. So let's run around a little bit and potentially see where that actually might make sense. You've got one bush here. Oh, we've got 2 wolves here as well. So I guess we'll fight these guys really quick. Not really a huge deal. It's not a huge time setback or nothing like that. Plus, it's going to give us a little bit of ranged XP, a little bit of meat for cooking. We don't want to be too close to their base. That's just irritating to have to deal with that every single time. There was 3 onions right there, but I think that's a ridiculous idea to put one there just for that. And it's getting nighttime now, and now we're running for our life because there's quite a bit going on. I see glowing eyes in the dark. All things I don't want to have to deal with. But I think there's a lodestone somewhere over here. I don't want to die over here without a lodestone and have to run all the way back to my body in the middle of nowhere. So let's hope we run into a lodestone or something. They should actually stop following us here rather soon anyway. I know exactly where I'm at though. So that's, I guess, something, right? It's worth something. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what we can't find. Just trying to find a good area to put another lodestone. I don't really see anything that sticks out right now. I'm being hunted now too as well. That's wonderful. I think the best thing to do right now, even though it's not the best thing, is to put a lodestone down and then just get out of here. Just until things sort of calm down. This is a complete waste. This lodestone right here. So let's go ahead and move this guy and try to make that a little bit more purposeful, meaningful. I guess we could put it a little bit closer over here because there's actually quite a bit of stuff over here. There's an abyssal demon. We've got to get out of here right now. We're going to get poisoned. I can already feel it. So we are going to go back. Obviously, that's not we're not done. It's just there's too much going on when you're out there at night. Way too much. I've also got to try to get more familiarized with basically where I'm at in like looking at the map and saying, okay, this is what's here if I use this lodestone. And that's going to take a little bit of time to sort of train myself to be able to know what's where. And I'm going to get hit right now. Almost got hit by poison. So that would have been fun. But basically, I've got to try to look at the map and see why and where I need to be building these. And then being able to get back to them easily is going to be really important. So it's going to take some time to learn that and which ones make sense. It looks like I built an altar all the way out here in the middle of nowhere. So there's a bunch of onions. Is this a good place to build one? I don't really see, other than a ton of onions and a bunch of bad guys, I really don't want to have to get stuck fighting every time. That doesn't make sense. We've got onions and we've got some bushes here. So maybe here would be a good place. Obviously, this is going to be a learning process and to whether or not it actually makes sense. Um, there's a bunch of dwarberries right here. This could actually be a really good spot as well. I'm trying to see though if the distance actually makes sense. I could always just run over here. I don't necessarily need one right here. I could just sort of teleport over, but we'll have to wait and see if that actually, in fact, these wolves are irritating though for sure. We've got another dwarberry and then we've got an onion here. Let's see what else we've got. I know what we've got on the other side of that wall. It's more problems that I don't want to encounter. So, let's see. This is just a huge forest, which I wish was wiped out. So I could actually see what the heck's going on. Let's see. A massive forest. It would be fun to cut this whole thing down and get birds' nests and some, I guess we don't really need the wood, let's be honest. But yeah, we got to go in a different direction now because I'm sort of seeing the same things. So let's try to position ourselves this way and see what we can't accomplish. I've been over here recently. Let's see. I've got to try to navigate to a different area on the map. But I see now that the only way to get there, it looks like it's actually up. So I'm not sure. Let's take a little walk and see what we can't find. Ow, that hurt right from behind. Ah. So we've got that one. We're getting a lot of meat though from killing all the wolves, that's for sure. This is actually quite fun. I'm so used to just sort of standing in the same spot and not really doing much of anything, right? It's all just very the same. Looks like I don't have enough stone, but we can pick one up. Isn't that crazy? That's absolutely wild. Okay, so there we go. And we're going to come here, and every time we come here, we'll get a bunch of onions and more onions. And let's see what else there might be. More onions. And more onions. Let's see. Onions. What is going on? It's like some sort of massive onion area. Came right to me. I mean, I felt bad about it, but what am I supposed to do? He just like came right for me and it made sense. I don't know what in the world's going on over here, but there are so many onions. It's absolutely ridiculous. And more onions. Trying to find some dwellberries, more onions. Absolutely crazy. And here's some dwellberries. Way off in the distance. So that's another one. And we're obviously going to be building more. And this is actually really cool. You can see here what this is. I built a bridge. This is supposed to just basically be a drop off and be easy to die. But we just made this little village right here. It's all kind of awesome, actually. And then this, another one of these. Crazy. And then there should be an abyssal demon to the left as well. So he's not there. But I know I've seen him earlier. He probably wandered off. We're getting lots of XP. I actually got to redo my dwellberry, my wild pie. But obviously, after I kill this guy, because I almost just died, I literally timed that so crazy. I almost blew it. And that would have been crazy. And we don't want to die here. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful. But we're almost there. I'd like to kill the abyssal demon, but I don't think we're going to. We're going to pick all these onions out here. So many creatures, so much food for cooking. What we're going to do is we're going to collect all these onions really quick. And then we're probably going to actually... I'm not going to work on cooking in this episode. What I'd like to do is sort of, regain a little bit of focus. And so we're going to collect the stuff that we can out here. And then we're going to head back to our base. Probably do an XP update. Although we didn't get a ridiculous amount done in the way of XP, we did get some range XP. And we collected some blurite. I guess I'll kill this bird really quick. It's interesting. There was the recent update that related to burnt food. But I haven't really seen any burnt food when I've been cooking. So I don't know what that's about. But we've definitely taken some time and repurposed a lot of these different lodestones. So that way we positioned them closer to dwellberries. And we're going to continue to do that as well. Let's go ahead and empty out our inventory and just sort of see where we're at with everything. We got quite a bit of different stuff. Some of this stuff I don't even know. But we've got lots of meats. It's quite interesting. I thought we would have had more dwellberries. That does not make any sense to me, actually. Very interesting. We should have had so much more. I felt like we were collecting them for like ages. But maybe a lot of that time was just spent killing creatures and repurposing lodestones and things like that. So that's pretty much that, right? We're going to continue to do that, and it'll be way more efficient moving forward. Obviously, we killed some Vault Ocrons and things like that. We've got a massive army here. I don't know, for those of you who haven't really seen it in our screenshots for our videos, but this is something we'd like to continue to do. And I really rather enjoy it. And that's why I've collected so many resources so I can do things like this. We've got a giant pile of bronze shields. It doesn't look like that many, but trust me, a lot of resources actually went into this, and it's quite crazy. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and do an XP update really quick. So attack, 329,000. Ranged, 69,575. Woodcutting, 1,002,000. Construction, 2,014,000. Runecrafting, 991,770. Magic, 124,000. Mining, 4,248,000. Artisan, 4,128,000. And cooking, 503,555. So, like I said, we didn't get like a ton accomplished in this episode as far as in the way of XP and things like that. But every little bit counts, and we're trying to set ourselves up to be more efficient while collecting dwellberries. I think that's going to be really important, is to get rid of all this clean water and turning it into something that's going to give us a lot of XP. So anyway, we hope you guys are enjoying our content. If you guys ever have questions, anything about the game that we might be able to help you with, feel free to leave a message below the video, and we'll take a look at that. And like I stated, thanks for watching our content. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your adventures in RuneScape Dragonwilds. And until next time, Legion Luda out.